The creators call it I'm schmacked.
I'm schmacked.
Getting schmacked.
I'm schmacked.
I'm schmacked. Getting schmacked. Well, Chris, it's called getting schmacked.
So, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Smac. Today I've got an absolute belter for you because it's the big weekend. Mcgregor v Porier 3, and I've got no better man from to talk all about it, Mr. Cathal Fegan. Cathal, thanks very much for coming on.
Sean, it's a pleasure. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, it has been a while. Former teacher of mine.
Yeah, former teacher. I think it was 2 years, wasn't it?
Fuck yeah, two years.
2 years, but 5 years ago.
Yeah, fucking, you got me out the gap, that's me. You got me out of that place, and look where I am now.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd say we're going to go straight into it. Porier McGregor 3, the big fight this weekend. I'm just going to go straight out. Prediction,
McGregor.
Yeah,
Have to. Can't not pick him. I looking back and forward, like in martial arts, people say that if you win the last fight, you should win the next fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the last fight was 6 months ago, so Porier should win, but with McGregor's experience and the Diaz fight, losing and coming back again, he should beat him.
You should be able to have it in the bag. Were you shocked by the last result?
I was shocked. Connor's great, but to be greater, you have to be training at high intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back now in hindsight, Dustin Porier is training in one of the biggest gyms in the world, American top team, and Connor's training with a few lads from Dublin in his backyard. And like it was a tent. A friend of mine had a cage down with him, and he was training on his own with a few boys. And like the caliber of fighters compared to the Americans over there is night and day. So if you're looking at it that way, if you're training with top fighters, you should beat someone who's not. But Connor should be beating Dustin Porier. He has too much skills in the tank, so hopefully this time he will.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. Because remember, like, just the fact that you have to set up to it's 5 in the morning to watch it, and then next thing he gets leg kicked to death, basically.
Yeah, well that's it, pretty much. Yeah, like it's like leg kicks, and watching him back this week again, get ready for the fight, and he wasn't checking the legs, and his legs were getting tired, and then the arms going down, and it was a bad night in the office for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. My mixed martial arts knowledge is not even in close in Rams compared to you. I'd say I'm quite a casual fan, but obviously when the McGregor hype train comes around, you're sort of you're all in. And like I think, especially lads around my age, like it's hard not to get invested in it.
Well, that's it. Yeah, lads your age, when he was teaching in the tech and all, like everyone's wearing McGregor tops.
Yeah.
And everything McGregor this, and I remember asking people, who else you like in the UFC, and blank.
Yeah.
And they'd say maybe Aldo, because McGregor fought Aldo last, and like they wouldn't know who it is, but it's just great to get into the sport. Like I knew the sport got really big this last couple of years. McGregor, when they go in the shop to buy a sandwich, people are talking about the UFC this weekend, not talking about who Arsenal's playing.
Yeah,
which is showing like it's a full circle in this part of the world.
No, exactly, and it's brought like the whole fighting culture over here. I suppose like people that have like their own, like yourself, like your dojang and like gyms and mixed martial arts centers, they're fucking flying at the minute. Like absolutely flying at the minute.
Well, our numbers did go up back say 2015 when I travelled over to America for the McGregor Mendes fight, and like lucky enough got to meet with him afterwards. And when he come back, then the numbers did go up for a year or two because people wanted to be the next Conor McGregor. And I'm talking 7-year-olds. I'm not talking about adults. Like it's kids and the parents and all from that, which helped us grow more. And other clubs are popping up everywhere in the whole country of Ireland.
Yeah. That's something I want to get into. You're not exactly just, as I said, like the casual fan where I get into it. You've been doing this a long time. It's not, you didn't just pick up the trend when McGregor came about. When exactly have you started the mixed martial arts trend?
I started in 95 when I was 5 years of age.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong because I was born in 97, but mixed martial arts back then would have maybe been seen as not the coolest thing in the world.
Well, yeah, like supposedly I was thrown into it because I love Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. I don't remember that. I do remember having posters in my room, but I don't actually remember watching it.
So you got into it at a young age then with the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. But like, what is it actually like? Because you can't really like compete against people at that age. Like you're not like they're talking now in this day and age. You can't head or a football anymore. So how are you sort of getting back then? Could you sort of kids grappling each other?
Well, back then, like it was still in the 90s. Like it's we were just doing sort of line workers up and in the hall, practicing kicks, practicing punches, but there was contact without gear. And then that was the late 90s, and like it's, believe it or not, your instructor actually did hit you, like, and it's looking back now, it's crazy. But then sort of in the early 2000s, it was sort of more rules came out, so it was more or less contact, semi-contact. But like fast forward in 2021, it's full contact now, so sort of turning a full circle again.
Yeah.
Which is great because you want to be able to hit pads and then actually hit the people.
Yeah, you need to mix both. Like, because that's what I always struggle to understand. Like, whenever you get up to like these like senior levels of like when you're like no gear on, whatever. Like what age are you really starting that from. Like,
Yeah.
'cause that's what you're going to compete in. That's how you're going to make your dough in the end of the day. Like,
Well, yeah, like, see, in the MMA there's different levels. This sort of C, B, and A, an amateur level. So you're getting ready with the shin pad and smaller gloves, and eventually the pros will fight with no gear, which is nuts.
yeah, no, it is nuts.
It's-
And like they say that the main damage you'll take throughout your career is probably sparring. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, think you're doing thousands and thousands of rounds.
It's the reps.
It's the reps.
Yeah.
It's the reps. And like, listen to the sort of press conference last night, the McGregor fight that Dustin Poirier was saying for the last 9 weeks he's been training hard, but for the last week he hasn't been training because his body's busted up that much.
Yeah.
Needs a week off. Which, looking at that there, that seems mad. Like, as a sort of a sports science background, you're damaging your body, then you're resting for a week.
Yeah, you're going to come in fragile almost.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Like, I know boxers don't really do that as much. They sort of keep it late near the last 3 or 4 weeks and they're still sparring.
It's strange to me how there is so much like science and data these days, and it's so unique. Everyone's approach to like fight week and like preparation camps and stuff. What's it camp like 12 weeks?
12 weeks. It was between 8 and 12, depends on the fighter.
But it's still like there's not really that exact science behind it in terms of like what you can do in your approach and like all these different styles and theories and stuff. Is that just down to like what your like preferred maybe martial arts is, or what do you think that's down to?
See, over the last 3 years, it's more MMA now, where beforehand you had to start off with a background of taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, judo, whatever. But now people are going in doing everything.
Yeah.
So it's come to that stage now they're more knowledgeable.
Oh, right, okay.
Like 2010, I was in Georgetown University and did a degree, and my dissertation was on MMA fighters and the physiological aspects of their body and performance. And there was one other data done ever in the world.
No way.
So I had to research with one piece of information.
I'm sure that was fun.
It was impossible.
Yeah.
But like, I had to use the box and stuff and everything, and like literally it was just the fitness levels that we were looking at. So like, the data wasn't done back 2010. The data's done now, like to the UFC, doing the PA, the Performance Institute, and different things, and helping it increase more knowledge. And then it was like, say for example, John Kavanagh, he fought in MMA back in the early 2000s, not a high level, just normal level, and he's a coach. Mike Brown, American top team, fought top level, WC, UFC, then became a coach. It was you fought and you're a coach, but now you have specialized coaches, you have the science background, and it's more knowledge now.
Yeah. Which I suppose is why we're seeing this like increase in the skill, would it be, in the UFC and stuff like that?
Yeah, and the performance, if you look at the top champions now compared to the top champions in the 2008, like Chuck Liddell and all, like John Jones would win 10 times out of 10 now.
Yeah, do you think UFC is one of them sports then? Because like you have the likes to say like off the top of your like basketball, or like is Jordan better than LeBron? Like UFC is one of the things, the boys that are better now are just categorically better, no question.
No question, exactly, because you can talk all day about the basketball, who's better, and you know, arguments both sides, but it's the fighters now are far better than the fighters back then.
Yeah. And that's just based on the knowledge and the more information people are able to take in and learn from over time.
Like at the very start, you had one martial art being the best, and then another one, and now it's mixture. Like, you look at the fights, you see the stats at the bottom, what their background was. Used to say karate expert, but now it says like knockout specialist or ground specialist. It doesn't say the martial art anymore, because it's mixed martial arts, where the way it should be. Like,
yeah. And then tell me this, what do you think about, especially with like the rise, because mixed martial arts to me was always like a very like respectful thing, and you know, like honorable and stuff, and then now you've seen this like influx of like shite talking and people trying to sell tickets and all. Like, what do you think of that in it then?
Sort of more like WWE then, like the wrestling. I don't like it as a martial artist. Like, I'm pure martial artist, so like we do the bowing and the respectful and respect our seniors and adults and all, and I don't like it as much. It's fun to watch as a casual fan, but then on the martial art head, it's saying like, this is not martial arts. Yeah. It's just too loud. But then you have to understand too, they're trying to trash talk to get more money. Yeah. And then the day, like, their their training span, fight span is short. It could be 6 years in the UFC. So if you can make 100,000 doing 6 years, or you make $1 million, you do whatever you want to do to make $1 million, because long term.
Yeah. Like, realistically, you could get a job, you know, like a grad job over 6 years and earn 100,000.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or else go in a cage and
get
your skull bashed.
Yeah. Like,
I know, I'd rather do like
elbows to the face, knees to the face.
Yeah.
Or just sitting in an office all day for the exact same money. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, and then again, you're getting your moment. Well, you're not even getting your moment fame, because who the fuck wants to sit and watch a highlight reel and then get knocked out? Like,
and then the fame too. Like, if I want to meet, let's say, a Premier League footballer, I can't. It's impossible to meet them. Yeah. If you want to meet a UFC star, you can. So the fame is not as same as the other sports. So like, you can walk into, we mentioned John Jones's gym and train with him.
Oh, really?
And spar him.
Where's that located?
He's in, New Mexico, in Albuquerque. So like, even Greg Jackson's gym, you can just walk in there and train with them. Any of them boys.
Yeah.
So like,
unreal.
so that's crazy thing about it.
Yeah.
Like even until recently, there McGregor's on his own now. But a couple of years ago in SPG, you just go down to SPG, pay your €30, walk in, and Conor happens to be there. You could spar him.
That's wild.
So like, but you couldn't play football with Ronaldo.
Oh, not hope like.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's so like, I know Joe Rogan was talking before. They think it's nuts that they're allowing the public to still go in and train at the high level. So there should be like two different bands. I think gyms are coming with that now. They're trying to get.
And do you think they need that as well?
They do, yeah. Because like, for example, like I'm sparring in Taekwondo, like a black belt on black belt in a sparring class, I'm not going to get hurt. But if I'm fighting a white belt who's only a beginner or someone's only a year or two, I might get hurt because they're raw and the technique's not there.
Yeah.
So I won't get hurt more or injured more.
Okay.
Because they're in the way. We're in sort of two levels. We will sort of know each other, step back if someone's getting hurt or whatever. So I don't think it's good.
No, that's what, I can't believe anyone could have just walked into the street and just been like, oh fuck, I was just sparring.
Yes. That's the thing. People don't realise that. I know a couple of my friends used to travel over to America and they'd go gym to gym and train with some of the superstars of the UFC.
But surely they're not getting anything. Well, I suppose if you're good at what you do, I suppose like you're talking. I'm thinking here whenever you said my mates, as in like boys from down the road.
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah. I can't imagine someone just running by and down the road just going in. You have to have sort of, well, some people would, but as fan people want to.
Of course, like
just go in and people. I remember hearing stories before and they're going halfway through like wrestling John Jones, any chance of photograph.
No.
And like John Jones going like, I don't mind the photograph, but it's after training.
Yeah.
Like wait for me after the shower, but just don't torture me during training.
Him like one of the most intimidating people.
Yeah, like 6'6", monster.
Fucking, I wouldn't be asking for a photo even if they did see him. Like
no, some chance.
Do you think that brings like quite an amateur level to the sport then?
Well, yeah, maybe so. Yeah, it's probably there's not enough doing it in the gyms. Like you have a big gym in the States there could have 200 people doing MMA, a big number. But then, like, if there was 2,000 doing it, you'd have structured different classes. Yeah. Like, it's like local gyms in Ireland here, like, it's just, there's different levels. There's a pro class and a normal class, but a lot of pro class people go in. And then, what's your definition of pro? The definition of pro to me is someone who makes money as a living. Yeah. But then, in pro and MMA is anyone can be a pro. Right. A pro means you get paid. So, if I had a show tomorrow, an amateur and a pro show, the amateurs don't get paid, but the pros get paid. You get paid a tenner. You pay £1,000, £100. Yeah, like it's not their living. But then the pros that's their living, and they're giving money to a manager and all. I think there should be a separate. Yeah, for them. Oh no, 100%. You have boys. I don't mean any disrespect to this whatsoever. You have boys like living on the dole, having like a fight or two a year, and being like, "Oh, I'm professional MF." You're like, no, you're fucking not. Yeah, like you turn pro tomorrow. Yeah, even in boxing, we could turn pro in boxing tonight. Is there not like a pro card you need to get? Just turn pro first fight. Oh really? Yeah. So that's why you have the likes of these fucking YouTubers and everyone having pro fights. You just literally apply. They'll take probably there's a fee. Yeah. And that's you. I know a lot of good boys in Ireland are load of amateur fights, and then they turn pro. But you can just turn pro tomorrow and fight in a pro card. So explain to me this: you have Conor McGregor, who like grown into one of the biggest stars UFC's ever seen. How's he able to develop that sort of skill? You know, from here when maybe you're probably not having gyms, you know, as high caliber as maybe what was in America and more advanced and stuff. How is he ever able to achieve such greatness based out of here, somewhere that's not like a mixed martial arts country? Like I've been over to like Asia and Thailand, and there's boys who all day every day Muay Thai. Like, that's what they do over there. How was one guy from here able to basically do it all? See, at the start when he sort of turned to UFC, he was good, and then he got better and better and great because he had more time and spent them 1,000 hours and extra hours. Right, okay. And like example, like Conor McGregor, like people don't realize sometimes he'd be in a gym and someone would do something and he'd go, "Come here, show me how to do that." Right, okay. And then he'll focus on that and focus on that and focus on that. That's why he sort of had Edo Portal on doing different, like sort of, he's doing all the stretching movements and all. He's seen someone else do that. And I think I heard a story before, someone was rock climbing in a rock wall in indoor world and he went up super fast. So Conor employed him then to teach him how to do it so fast because he taught that grip strength and forearm strength. And like there's a friend of mine does taekwondo down in Dublin, and Conor does a lot of taekwondo now. Taekwondo is known a lot of kicking, so it's all explosive kicking and fast kicking. A bit like Muay Thai, but Muay Thai is a bit more shins, more feet hitting the foot, and more springy. And he saw one of the boys, a man in his 50s, kicking head high. Asked him, "How you doing that?" "Of taekwondo." "Okay, teach me."
Really?
So like that was his mindset then.
It's like one of those like champion obsessive mindsets, like wanted to learn all the skills.
He would travel anywhere just to learn them extra skills, and that's what brought him to the next level. Like if there's a photograph, like when he first fought in the UFC, because I'm kicking specialist in taekwondo, I can watch everything and see kicking, and he was kicking hip high. Fast forward, Dustin Poirier fight the first fight, kicking head high.
Yeah, remember that kick against, was it Don Cerrone, the head kick he comes out with, like
bang.
Yeah, but that's been in the works from years.
That's from 6-7 years of practicing, and like in terms of kicking, like he has been through the roof very fast. Like I could teach you now 3 days a week for the next 2 years. You kick really good, but he's done something that's 10 years in a short time.
Yeah.
And like it helps too that he's from sort of Dublin, and the fighting hours and the background and the hunger. Like you saw him using the dole, and he wanted to fight. And he might not be a UFC star. Like he just could have been just nobody. He just could have quit.
Do you think there's a lot of people in that category, maybe in that, like, you know, not cusp of UFC, but you know what I mean, want to make it as a fighter, and it all just comes down to maybe a wee bit of luck, and you know, because everyone's the skill gap at that level, I couldn't imagine would be really, really different, like compared to the boys in the UFC and that more experience.
So when we're back to sort of football again, and like the football it's that 1%. Difference between the Premier League and the Championship is the 1%. But also a bit of luck. Like, let's say Wayne Rooney, for example, like he got a bit of luck when he was younger. When teenager, 16, came on against Arsenal and scored that goal. Yeah. If he didn't score that goal, would he have saved from Man United? So a bit of luck helps. And he improved because he had the right coaches then. Yeah. So the fighting, it's different. If you have someone who's really, really good and someone who's good, the really, really good fighter will be able to pick him off and move about. So you think with top level boxer, a top level boxer would tie with you in a boxing fight. Like my hands is okay for fighting. If I was fighting with a top level amateur boxer, he would just push you in the ring because that level of expertise. So the martial arts a bit different with the 1% wise compared to the sort of football and other sports.
There's more of a gap there. Like
there's more of a gap.
You get exploited there, really.
Yeah, because it's the repetition again. It's to be able to control your area. Like this is my house. I'm going to make sure that you don't attack me. Yeah.
I think a big part of it too comes into, like, obviously, like the mixed martial arts part of it is you can't exactly, you know, if someone's that much greater and that much more experienced, it probably is an experience thing. Is that the big part of it?
Experience, yeah. I'll give you an example. Like I was fighting at a high level for a long time, and I sort of stopped when I was 22 or 3. And then I quit for 7 years. I went back for my first fight.
When you mean high level, what exactly?
Well,
break it down for people that don't really know. Like,
I was fighting sort of world championships for Ireland and
taekwondo.
Yeah, winning all Ireland titles and fighting all over Europe. And then I took 6 years out, and then went back to my first fight with no training, and won my first fight after 6 years by pure experience of knowing what to do, of all them repetitions. And then, of course, I lost my second fight because the fitness levels wasn't there. But then that brought me back to the drawing board, what to do. But it's experience that you can have someone come in now, 40 years of age, hasn't fought in 10 years, gloves on at the first time, fighting for an hour sparring session. They kick you in the ring. Yeah. Because it's the experience of what to do and the angles and the knowledge. And in fighting, the more fights you have, and wins, of course, in MMA, the easier it's going to be when you're fighting lower level guys. Yeah.
So I'm going to bring that into then this weekend's fight. Do you reckon then, because of what you said sort of earlier, like the Nate Diaz 2 fight and stuff like that, like he's been here before, he's seen it before, like it's sort of, if you don't win this fight, what is really next for you?
Yeah, because like Dustin Poirier is fighting, as he's saying there, 10 years straight, no breaks. McGregor's breaking here, breaking there. But then again, as we've seen the first fight, Nate Diaz, he made a mistake. He made a mistake in Dustin Poirier's fight there. He overcome the mistake. So, like, you're hoping that he'll overcome it. Yeah. And, like, the way he's overcome it is by knocking Dustin Poirier out.
Do you think the attitude, because this attitude coming into this fight is what I love, personally. Like, I love the shy talk. I think some of it goes too far, like, don't get me wrong, but, like, the last time you're just watching, you're like, this isn't who we've been following for the last couple of years. Like this guy, like, oh, I like your hot sauce and all this shit. It was shit talk in the end of the day. This is the McGregor I think everyone sort of likes to watch.
It's the McGregor you used to, because like the last fight there, he put his arm around McGregor or Dustin Poirier in the weigh-ins and holding the hot sauce, like celebrating together, and like, and me go come back going, I'm going to pay £20 to watch this fight, and it feels like it's going to be fixed. Like Conor's pretty much sort of like, you know, bribing Dustin Poirier, I'm your mate now, there's $1 million in the bank for you, blah blah blah. But this fight now, he's back to sort of as the anger of the trash talk, and of course certain things he's saying it's silly and but like he's trying to get Dustin Poirier raved up, like, but he mightn't get him raved up because Dustin Poirier has seen that in the first fight, made a mistake himself and learned, and they're two smart boys, like, but it's good to see him like that because that's where he was. Yeah. And there's no point being Mr. Nice Guy whenever we're used to Mr.
I feel like there was that massive like joke because he did go through them years of like court cases and all the shit that happened, like, and I feel like there had been someone in his back ear, a little PR person being like, look, we need to clean this up. We need to do this, that, and the other. And he's sitting there like, right, okay, we'll give it a go here. And then I guess you lose your fight off the back of that. And you're like, no, fuck that. Yeah,
because like there's people in Conor's ear all the time telling him what to say. Like even back when the trash talk and like it's mostly him off the cuff. Like, but he's told like create your persona and make your money. Yeah, and like that's what it works. Like I don't think. Do you think even like them people or maybe him at the time realized just how far he probably could have took it in terms of like fighting Floyd Mayweather, earning millions? Like, do you think that was like in the realm? Because the ceiling for UFC was quite low in comparison to what it was now, I suppose, like in terms of money and fame and all that sort of stuff. Like, well, even the money there you mentioned, like he went from his first fight 20 grand to the Mayweather fight near 100 million. Like it's mad. And even like I've been to maybe 7 of his fights in the UFC, maybe 6 or 7, and the first fight was 70 quid
to get into
it. Okay. And the last fight, and I'm talking about the cheapest ticket, was 1,500. What? So 1,500 in Vegas. The last fight I was at. So I went from 70 quid to the back row to £1,500 dollars to the back row. So that shows insane. You. Even his title fight, I think it was like $300. Really? Yeah. The Mendes one? The Mendes one, yeah. And, you're joking. And the Aldo one after that was similar. And then just skyrocket. And the fight this weekend too, I think it's $800 minimum. Like, that is wild. And so I'm not gonna don't list all of them, but like, what were the big ones you're at? You're at Mendes. I was at the one is homecoming in Dublin. Yeah. I was at the Mendes fight. I was at the Aldo fight. The 2 Diaz fights. The Mayweather fight. The Eddie Alvarez fight in New York, which was cracker. Yeah. And I think that's it. Maybe there's one more. But that's why it's been a while since I've been over, but because I remember back in the day whenever in attack you'd be like, this is the suit I'm getting, we're going where else, and I'm like, holy, you're going like going to McGregor fight is still, in my opinion, you know, it's one of the biggest sporting events you can probably like. You look back at that and there's people that like, you know, it's like Kent State to go to one of them events. Well, that's the thing. I went 4 in 1 year. That's wild. And then 4 more in Vegas in 1 year. I'm sure the bank account wasn't too happy with you. Like. Yeah, it wasn't, but it was sort of my head was. I said to a friend of mine years ago when we started sort of watching some sort of Cage Warriors before in the UFC, and we got in the UFC. He goes, if you ever fight for a title, we're going no matter where it is in the world. If it's Japan, Brazil, Vegas, and that happened, and then that got the ball rolling. Went to the next and the next and the next. And how difficult is it to get tickets? Impossible. Really? Oh, impossible. Just you can't get your hands on them. Is it all wrapped up by like corporates and? It's pretty much. The Mayweather fight was sold out. And I happened to talking to a guy who works for Fox Sports News, and I asked him, any chance to buy your ticket off you? No and he goes, yeah. And it was £1,500, and I walked in and the stadium wasn't even full, and I got my ticket upgraded to a £10,000 ticket. Fuck. So it was close enough, and I still have the ticket in my office, like on the wall, like. So the Mayweather fight didn't even sell out? No, people don't realise that. It was sold out, wasn't sold out. There was thousands and thousands of seats free. That's wild. That's like that thing they do in fucking. Oh, I'm an Arsenal fan, so the Emirates Stadium, they'll be like, it's like 50, 60,000, whatever, and they'll be like, today's attendance was 60,000. You're looking around, you're like, no, this place is half full. Like, there's no way. So the Mayweather fight didn't sell out. No, it didn't sell out. Well, why do you think that was? Just the pricing? It said it was sold out. Oh right, okay. So but you probably just had a load of fucking people, corporates, and maybe they didn't turn up. Just didn't take them on. Like every other fight I've been there wasn't seat free. I think actually in New York we had to sit in a bar stool. There's bar stools at Madison Square Garden at the very very top floor. And we were sitting on a bar stool, like, watching
No
the
way.
fight. Yeah.
And what does it really matter, like how close you are, how far back you are in terms of atmosphere and stuff like that? Like,
No, not at all, no.
Like you watch them videos from like. I honestly, would you be one of them people that would video when you're there, or were you just watching?
No, when it comes to the fight,
I don't understand how people do
Yeah,
that. Like
we'll
you're
have to
there to
watch
watch one of the biggest sporting moments ever, and you're standing there.
but you're paying £1,000 for it. You're not going to use your phone.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, fuck me, we can watch this on the UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch your shitty wee video. Like,
But even like the whole like the Mendes fight was different. It's probably the best one out of them all.
Yeah.
There was I don't know how many 30,000-40,000 Irish people there. It was nuts.
What's the difference in sizing between the MGM then and then like Madison Square Garden?
Madison Square Garden's massive. Like MGM's cool because of the whole history of it.
Yeah.
But the new T-Mobile Arena, it's as big as the as the one New York.
Class.
Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden, it's big. It's a lot of rows and up higher and this. But the T-Mobile is pretty cool too.
And what is it you think is about, like, because you would obviously see like the Irish fans like yourself out there, like what was it that like made people pay that money to go? Because it's silly money, like.
See, it's an excuse. If you look at even the recent Euros that Ireland was in, people went and World Cups and all. Irish people just like supporting.
Yeah.
But it's more of an excuse. Like someone you're going to Vegas to watch a fight.
Yeah, true.
There's people there I was talking and didn't know who Conor was fighting. They weren't there for the fight. They were just there because of.
Because it was a big moment,
yeah.
like. Yeah.
But it was nuts. Like you see half in Euro was there. Like people there I haven't seen in years, just walking in the strip. Like we were in a pool party with Calvin Harris was playing, and a friend of mine was there from Straver, and half of Straver was there beside him then that he hasn't seen in 10 years.
Yeah.
He lives in Straver.
You're meeting him in the fucking Las Vegas Strip.
Like you're walking down the strip, you go, well, Cathal, and I'm going, well.
That's probably why this country doesn't get good weather, because the fucking state it would be in.
But like it was mad. Like it was just the MGM, like day and night was just packed. Like you're talking 6 a.m. You swear it was 2 p.m. in the day, packed.
Yeah. So talk me through then, because I just really want to get a feel for it. Like talk me through your McGregor fight day. Like what you're waking up, probably some state of hungover.
Go to a pool party beforehand.
Right.
So McGregor day, like the last McGregor day that we were at Hardwell pool party, and then in the Wet Republic, talking about maybe 3,000 or 4,000 5,000 there, and then sort of hits 4 or 5 o'clock. We have to go back to the hotel, get our clothes on. I usually wear sort of a McGregor walkout t-shirt all the time. The same one was sort of a Lucky Charm. Yeah. And then we could go down to the fight. We missed the sort of first couple of fights. Usually we just sort of more the main event, and then the main event just it's nuts.
And is it like would it be quite empty then by the time you come in, or is it like
it's just getting packed in? Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I suppose it's like Irish people. You want your money's value.
Well, that's the thing.
You paid the money, like you want to see all the fights.
The Aldo fight was crazy. Half the people beside us was sleeping.
You're joking?
Everyone was sleeping beside us, like because everyone's that tired.
Yeah.
Because they're partying all week and they're still in sort of Vegas 9 hours behind, so they're still in Irish time and they're falling asleep. And many people, it's funny, many people are just walking in. The fight's over because it was 13 seconds.
Yeah.
So when you go to the toilet, you have to wait till the round's over, and you go to the toilet. So there's the security men stopping you, and security men stopping people at the bleachers couldn't get in, missing the fight
because they had to wait to the end of the first round.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be sick.
Like it's nuts. Many people were talking about the fight. Yeah, but I missed it.
Oh, I wouldn't even admit that.
Yeah.
I couldn't admit it. Someone like
13 seconds.
There, yeah, it's class. Was that like the 13-second fight? Was that like was it a letdown? Like,
no, it was brilliant.
Was it just amazing?
Everyone always says that, but I remember a friend of my dad's years ago went to Mike Tyson fight and it was like 10 seconds or something. I was going, that'd be cool to go to something like that to last so quick.
Yeah.
And like literally we stood up, the fight started, we were cheering, about to sit down, and they knocked him out. Like it was mad.
But every time, because on Facebook, like Joe just goes through Facebook, every time the McGregor fight news come up, like I don't know what it is, you can't go past them. Like you just can't go past them. But that one, like I can't help but laugh every time I watch that fight.
Yeah, it's great.
You couldn't write it.
It's great. Like
you couldn't have wrote it after everything that happened, the build up, everything, and it wasn't as if it was some fucking dud. It was
the baddest man ever. Yeah, the baddest man in the featherweight division. 13 seconds.
After like, all the shade talk, everything, 13 fucking seconds.
No, it's great. Like, and it's great too watching like the UFC promoting the fights. A lot of the videos of the past fights, you sort of get goosebumps. Then going, I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, you almost remember the seat. Like you're like, this was my view. You can almost see it in your head. Like
and a lot of the better videos, the show, the past, or even the promotion videos of BT Sport, I've been in a lot. Yeah, because I've been to so many of them. I've been to some press conference, like the recent one there. My flag's there, and because I have my own logo on it, and I often spot it.
That's class.
Because the second Diaz fight, I actually did a documentary for UFC Fight Pass.
Oh, okay.
So I did for a Brazilian TV company, followed me around for a week.
How'd that come about?
So literally, it was on Facebook one day. Anyone going to the McGregor fight, and I typed and I got an email. Do you want to be on a documentary for Fight Pass? I says okay, yeah, grand. And came to Newry to follow me around my club there, watch me train for the day, follow me to the airport, follow me around Vegas for the week, follow me to weigh-ins. It was great. Like
it was like in the eyes of a fan sort of thing.
It was as a fan and talking about how good Conor and sort of, because it was Brazil, Aldo as well.
Yeah.
But like it was me and sort of four or five of my mates, and there was 3 or 4 cameras following us everywhere.
That's amazing.
So people thought we were superstars. Yeah. Like I was funny, people started following us and all. But it was the cameras, just straight in your face, like this close, talking to you and asking you about the interview, about the fight, what your prediction was.
And I think it helped the fact that you were this long term
See, that's why they asked me about the background. That's why they wanted to come to the martial art club, so they can show like a traditional martial art club in Ireland.
Yeah,
following the superstar of Conor. But it was a great experience. I must actually send you someday.
Yeah, no, definitely do.
It was fun.
And then what would you say out of all them? What would be your number one? What was the best?
It has to be, for atmosphere wise, it has to be the Chad Mendes, because the amount of Irish, and the summer and the sun, and then probably fight wise, performance wise, would be New York, Eddie Alvarez.
I'd say if they're it's hard to pick which one you'd want, but I'd say that because it was flawless.
Oh, it was just, and winning 2 titles, and
that was pure history. That
the way he did the 4 punches, bum, and
Porier didn't even get close to him.
it was great. It was a great fight.
And would you go? Would you love to see the fight in Croke Park and something like that happen? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll ever come about?
It has to.
It would be one of the greatest national robberies if it never came.
It should have happened years ago. I actually was talking to a person today, and I mentioned that there. Hopefully, because going to the fight, and because of travel restrictions, he couldn't go. But I probably wouldn't be going. Just the way things are in the world with COVID and all. But if this fight goes well, there has to be a Croke Park fight.
Yeah. Imagine a title fight in Croke Park.
Oh, it'd be great. But Conor can fight anyone in Croke Park and it'll fill out.
Oh, absolutely. I'd go see him fight anybody.
It could be anyone. He could fight you and be 80,000 on it.
Yeah. But I think just the way fucking Croke Park is, you have these events they want to put on, and it always seems to fall through, and these issues.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah, fuck. Cunt. But I really struggle to see the Croke Park thing happening. I just think there'll be something that comes up, it'll never happen, and it'll be one of those ones just fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Could you imagine one of them fights that you mentioned that you're at? Imagine one of them were scheduled for Croke Park.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. And it ended up should have happened because it went from America, Dublin, and then America, and it was geared up for Dublin again, but then it fell through. It's because Conor was on, but he's going to do his own fight night and have all his SBG boys.
Yeah, the charity thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, that was a different thing. This was sort of give the boys that training partners money.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was there and have main event against whoever. So realistically, years ago, I always thought Conor would fight 3 or 4 more times in the UFC, and then leave and just be a free agent and do his own shows.
Yeah.
Because he could do a McGregor promotion fight night.
Definitely, yeah.
And he's the headliner.
Yeah. But then are you going down that route that sort of boxing has, and there's 8 world champions and stuff like that, and nobody. That's one thing I say about the UFC. That's one thing I enjoy. Whoever's the fucking best UFC, that is the world champion. None of this collecting all the belts and stuff like that. Oh, having said that though, I do enjoy the fact that Katie Taylor's doing her thing and she's collecting belts, and I don't know how exactly it works, but surely if she collected all 8 belts,
undisputed and champion.
Undisputed champion. But there is things in boxing, isn't there, where you can fight for certain belts, you fight for 3 out of the 5 or whatever. It's a bit of a mess.
And then if you have a certain belt, WBC and ABO wants you go for the ABO belt, but then WBC goes, you owe me a fight. Yeah, take the belt off you.
How did they get that? Is it just sort of a greed thing as well? And everyone want their own promotion?
Yeah, just from there, just the scene money.
Yeah.
It will. There's Bellator, another world champion belt you get. And if they keep increasing their level, they will have a Bellator and UFC champion at the same time. Yeah. Because they have, I think it's Muhammad Ali Act, which that's why boxing's allowed all different belts.
Right, okay.
So the Muhammad Ali Act is signed now for MMA as well, but it's not done yet.
Right, okay.
So it means that, for example, John Jones is a UFC champion. He wants to fight for the Bellator champion. He can, and UFC can't stop him.
Oh, right, okay. So there's no like, oh no, you have to give us this cut or whatever.
Yeah.
You just sort of, you let the two of them do the thing. Like
That's what they're trying to do. Well, that's right. That's what they're trying to do. Sorry, but that's what can happen eventually with this Ali Act.
So is that like a governing body sort of thing, or
It's more of this a sort of a world state, or but I don't know if I like that or not. Like, it's good to have different organisations with their own.
because it is sort of tough for them boys in the UFC that are at the bottom. So you said like you're in
Yeah.
20,000 a fight and stuff like that, and then you're looking at like, do you remember that weird stage where like McGregor was going, I'm the money fight, and then there's boys at the bottom like, I'm the money fight. You're like, fuck me last week.
And like 20
Catch the
grand, 20
bum.
grand's not like, because you take out your tax, take out your bills,
Yeah, yeah,
your 12-week fight camp, your coach's fee, your manager's fee. You're talking 3 grand, 4 grand.
yeah.
And
And you're
like-
the one that's doing all the dog work, like.
And then Connor's getting 3 or 4 million a minute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
sort of, what are you going to do? Like,
Stuff. But on like the McGregor promotion thing, like it speaks volumes that like you can fight for a world title here or you can fight Conor McGregor.
yeah.
Who in their right mind is going to pick a world title
Well,
over Conor McGregor?
There's Dustin Poirier. He could have fought for a title.
Yeah.
He goes down Connor. And like, someone asked me the other day, what would you do? Like, they used to be a world champion, have that belt on your belt.
Yeah.
Back, like, and for 3 or 4 more million, like,
Mm-hmm.
because like he probably get 3 or 4 million for this fight.
Yeah. Well, you'd sort of have to presume then. Well, he's going off the logic, I suppose, that he doesn't think Conor has enough to get back up to that level.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I suppose,
takes this
or
handy
maybe,
fight.
or maybe it's just a better time to get him. If Conor got a 1 or 2 under him,
Yeah.
and he's fighting you for a belt, it's not a situation you want to
Well,
be
that's
in.
the thing.
Like,
Where Dustin Poirier wins this fight, he's winning that fight, extra money, goes Dana White, beat Conor twice, UFC title, but I want more money again.
yeah. How do you think they're going to bridge the gap between, like, let's say Poirier does win and then goes and fights for the title? Like, the pay-per-views aren't there.
No.
Will they ever fill that gap, do you think, in terms of...
See, the thought there a few weeks ago, they had Nate Diaz fighting, and he is a huge fan base, but he did like 600,000 buys, which is nothing compared to Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Even Francis Ngannou, the heavyweight champion, like, he's not going to sell.
Yeah.
Like, all the champions there won't sell as much, and well, there's a buy on the card this weekend, Sugar Sean O'Malley, like,
Yeah.
he's a superstar in the making. He's fighting a buy now in the UFC, hasn't fought ever. It's his first fight in the UFC, so
His guy pulled out, didn't he?
pulled out, yeah, as the buy to beat Paddy Houlihan in Dublin a couple of years ago. But the thing is, Sugar Sean O'Malley's going to win this fight easy,
Yeah.
hands down. But where's that leave him? Like, he can't go here. He has to fight top 3 guy now.
I think they're trying to protect him at all costs because
Yeah.
he does carry the foot injuries
Yeah.
and stuff like that as well. Like, and obviously, I'm a massive fan of him. I think
Oh
he's
yeah,
class.
he's cool,
Like,
dude. Yeah,
he's class. He actually, I remember, he got banned there for a while, didn't he? He was banned for like 2
yeah,
years.
smoking marijuana. Yeah,
Yeah, like, what the
Like-
do you think that's going to be something? Because you see with the recent Olympics
yeah,
and stuff
seen
as
that.
well.
Yeah,
Like, not my cup of tea exactly either, but
Yeah.
fuck me, it's not exactly performance enhancing.
see, there's your answer. It's not performance enhancing.
Yeah.
So why should we be banned?
Mhm.
But then again, there's an argument too. People say that you take it there and helps them with injuries and soreness. But you don't want your fighter to be less injured
Yeah.
and less soreness.
It'd be interesting to see if they ever go down the route of just like, you know, there's no like
Do-
either
do what you want.
Yeah, the technology's either there. It's like Joe, like what do you call those fucking shows, like bodybuilding shows, that they just let everyone
Yeah.
do whatever the fuck they want, like, and they're just freaks. But it's like, would they ever do like, you know, like a right? Here's the fucking off their heads and
Yeah.
then goes competition, the freaks, and then here's like the traditionalists, like, you know,
And that was Pride years ago.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, there was. I think there was in the contract was we will not test you for steroids.
but was that not like extremely dangerous?
Well, yeah, we used to do head stamps on the ground
Yeah.
as well. Like, but then like sort of the other martial arts, like as Wolverine, he came to UFC, first fight beat Brock Lesnar, and then all of a sudden no steroids anymore, and he sort of wasn't up there. How he's left now, and he's back on the juice.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so you're going to see as Wolverine back to
Yeah.
a machine again. I think the Olympics are like, you want to see a 100-meter sprint, you want to see someone do it in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what you want to
I have,
do it?
I have an interesting one. So I remember seeing a thing a while ago. Out of the people that have run the 10 fastest times in 100-meter sprints ever, only one of them has never been caught. Not caught. Has never been found to be using performance-enhancing drugs.
Is that Bolt, is it?
Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Every other single person that set a top 10 time has been caught.
And it shows you how freak of a athlete he is.
I don't know if it shows you how much of a freak he is or how much, if he'd be a Lance Armstrong story.
Well,
Because think about it. There's no downside to it. In
Yeah.
terms of, like, if he doesn't get caught, he's made his money.
He's made his money. We have to mention his name, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's a household name.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Biggest athletic star ever.
Yeah,
Possibly, like, probably one of the greatest Olympians ever, too.
I met him in 2007 in Manchester.
Right, okay.
No one knew who he was. I was at an Old Trafford in my night game, and must have been 10,000 people waiting to see Ronaldo and all,
Yeah.
and I went over to him, goes, any chance for a photograph? And he goes, no.
What age was he back then?
He was just after the Olympics. It was 2008, sorry, busy in the Olympics.
Really?
2008, he goes, no. And I was like, okay. And I walked away, and then all these people going, who's your man? He goes, that's Usain Bolt.
No way.
And then the queue of photographs waiting for him then.
It's hardly as if you wouldn't recognise him. Like
He's massive. He was,
huge.
remember, he's wearing his Puma gear and all. But like, it was mad. It was any chance photograph? No.
I don't understand. Why would you be that much of like superstar not?
No one knew who he was. Like he should be. He was waiting there, looking around, like sort of.
Yeah.
Someone recognised me. Like I thought, like it was great. It's back to disposable camera. It wasn't a camera phone, not like because I went over there like it was a selfie, but that was before that age. It wasn't too bad. About 2 minutes later, I met Ronaldo then, so it was all good.
It's all good then. That's why I can never go over that like a celebrity, especially like a casual setting like that. Like if they're out for dinner or something like, or on the move somewhere, fine. But you're fucking.
But he's waiting for a photograph. He's
Yeah.
waiting to ask someone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't understand. Like
Then how do you only know him just purely off the Olympics? You were the only
That was
person
it.
somehow in Manchester that recognises the
Yeah,
fucking
I-
fastest man on the planet.
yeah, I like the Olympics and all that there, and then reading newspapers beforehand, I knew he was in Manchester. He was a Man United fan, so it sort of clicked
Yeah.
who he
You
was.
seem like you could do a bit of celebrity hunting from time to time.
Well,
You seem to know where to find these people.
I met a lot of celebrities in my day, like, and
Have you ever got close to Dana White at one of the UFC events?
yeah, I got my
Yeah.
arm around him and got a photograph of him. Yeah, that's a good story. Me and my friend stuck in the VIP section and sat in the front row next to Conor McGregor watching
Where was this in?
Dublin UFC. we walked through and just sat beside Conor and D, watching the fights, and then all of a sudden we see Dana in the corner and we goes, go get a photograph, and got a photograph, and 2 minutes later we're thrown out
Out of the whole place.
of the place. We were sitting in the section was only UFC fighters and millionaires.
Right.
That's all the section
And you
was.
two.
And us two were sitting there. So this is during a fight. And he goes, hey, Dana's watching the fight. Goes, any chance photograph? Got up, arm round him, photograph, and they thought we were probably millionaires or
Yeah.
something. We weren't two fighters. And then his bodyguard, which you seen in the press conference, the big baldy guy, English guy. He's a SAS soldier, former. He goes to me and mate, where's your bands? Well, yeah, there's the bands there, and no bands, thrown out.
Worth it though.
It was
Like.
great. We were getting free drink and free food all night, sitting in
Oh, it's class.
front row beside Conor. Like it was great. And Dana White, like he's one of the guys I wanted to meet. Like I sort of met a lot of celebrities in the world that I wanted to meet. There's very few that I haven't met yet.
Who's probably like your big one? Who's your favourite?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, really? You met Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
He seems like an absolute
Yeah,
madman.
Like Mike Tyson. Like I'm 6'1" and he's smaller than me, but he made me look like a child.
Is he really smaller than you?
Yeah, but he's just massive.
Uh-huh. Like even now, like
his neck out the door. He walked past us and his arms out the door, and I got to chat to him for about 10 minutes and all, and
No way.
talking with him. Yeah,
no way.
he
I
was
don't think
good.
I could take. Well, I suppose you'd be terrified looking at him, but his voice, it always
Yeah.
cracks me up. Like,
He loved it. Every time I was Irish, and that was it. He loves the Irish.
yeah.
He's been to Ireland once in his life. Can you guess where?
Oh fuck.
Someone random. A county. I'll give you a county, won't
County.
it?
Galway.
Sligo.
What?
Sligo.
Why?
I goes, why are you in Sligo? He goes, why not?
Well, fair enough. Don't argue with Mike Tyson.
He wasn't in Dublin, it was Sligo.
What the?
I think he was over in Glasgow or something in Scotland for a fight,
Yeah.
and he met a friend who was Irish and flew over,
Mhm.
and he actually has a sliotar in his house. You look at his trophy cabinet and all the belts, and he has a sliotar there, and that's the sliotar from Sligo.
No way.
Yeah.
Fucking
Because they
hell.
asked him.
Yeah.
He asked him there. I asked him that story. He goes, why? Like an else he was telling me.
Fucking hell. And any other honourable mentions apart from Mike Tyson?
Yeah, not gonna take off.
Big names. I
Pretty
suppose,
much.
Like, it's weird because I talked to another guy I had on. He was like a hotel manager, Damien. The guy I had on, and he was saying like he's met like as a hotel manager.
Yeah.
Hotels, he's met all these people, and he's like it wore off quite a bit. You know, like the nerves and stuff like that. Did you find that, or is it like because these people are like, such idols, you'd be like, oh my god?
Yeah, like the only person I've ever really was sort of scared to talk to or ask was Roy Keane. So Roy Keane was sort of grown up as a child who was sort of hero to me, like, and we were over in Sunderland, and he was the manager at the time, and asked him to sign a jersey and couldn't even speak to him. I go, anytime sign a jersey. And like I'm 22 at the time, like not like I'm a child, like
Yeah.
and that was probably it. Everyone else I met was grand, like it was.
And what is it? Is it just like it's probably just a confidence thing, is it? Like just
Yeah, see more and more now. If you look at because of social media, some of the celebrities you think you know them.
yeah, that's actually a fair point.
Like you meet someone and you go on like, oh, I know everything about you.
Yeah. You like I know what you had for breakfast this morning. Like, yeah.
Well, back then I was watching Roy Keane on TV playing football. That was it.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like it's strange. Some of the UFC fighters go over and go, "Hey, chance for photograph," and just talking with them, and that's it. Like there's some of the top ones, like I met Mayweather and all too, and
Is Mayweather as tiny as they say?
tiny, yeah.
Were you like? Did you have any hope going into that McGregor fight that you were going to witness history, or were you?
No.
Like as you said earlier, like doing the boxer versus like mixed martial arts.
No, you straight away. Like
you knew.
And like Mayweather, he chose that round. In Vegas that weekend, there was 3 bets, with 4 bets: a draw, McGregor to win, Mayweather to win, or before 10 rounds or 10 rounds and after.
Right. Okay.
So you couldn't bet in round 5, like you can here.
Yeah.
And strangely, he won.
Betting's strange over there, isn't it? Like, what they allow you to do, like sports betting.
It's totally different, yeah. And then it's like 1 to 140. You know, we have like 2 to 1 here, 3 to 1.
Yeah.
So it pretty much tells you put $100 on, you win 140. That's what they're telling you.
I suppose that's what they want you to put on minimum.
Yeah,
suppose,
well, that's yeah. Like
we're like a quid.
Because Vegas, like I witnessed a woman beside me won £37,000 on roulette on 17 black, and then 2 minutes later it was gone.
You're joking me?
Gone.
I could never get my head around it. Like
and cheering, everyone going mad. And we were next door to like the table, like, and we go, what do you win? 37,000. Like
that is ridiculous.
Gone. Don't know, like Americans, when it comes to dollars, it means nothing.
It's like monopoly money to them.
It is, yeah. Like a friend of mine, good friend of mine, lives in Vegas, like, and he would tell you he's a barman over there, like, and he'd be telling you like money's no option.
Yeah. He
works with the VIP sections and all, and.
Did you ever go to any of them like McGregor parties and stuff afterwards? Remember they were a big thing.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
I actually went to one of them, a pool party one, and got backstage with him for the whole night.
No way.
Yeah. So what happened was I was talking to his agent and a boy called Audie, who in the States there, and I asked him, but when's Conor coming? Because Conor wasn't there yet. He's coming soon. And I goes, do me a favour. And he goes, what? Tell Conor to practice an axe kick. An axe kick in taekwondo is up in the air and smack down. No, it doesn't in the UFC ever. Well, not ever. I haven't seen it ever in the UFC. One MMA fight ever. And he goes, how do you know that? Do you know Conor? And I goes, no, I don't know him. He goes, he's been practicing that for the last 6 months. And I goes, no, he hasn't. He goes, he has been. I go, coincidence. I goes, my background is taekwondo, blah, blah. But away over the mesite, Conor pulls in, everyone going nuts, maybe 4,000, 5,000 there. Agent comes over going, Conor wants to speak to you. And he goes, what? He goes, Conor wants to speak to you. So he brought me in. Conor goes, what the fuck did you say? I goes, I think he practices ass kick, blah, blah. He goes, how the fuck do you know that? And I was going, taekwondo. Come over here quick. Sat me down beside, put the arm around me, gives me a beer, get a picture with the belt. He won the belt that time. Yeah. Picture of the belt. Next 4 hours, we're partying.
No way.
When I say we're partying, there's 4,000 people looking in, and it's just 20. In a wee small gazebo.
Yeah.
And like people are on the barriers, hey, Sean, take on for a photograph or an autograph. I go, no, he's busy. leave him alone. But me and my mate got my mate in then too, and whole night. That was great.
Were you chance your arm being like, I'll coach for you? Were you giving it the whole deal? Like you have to once you get that opportunity. You can't let it slide. Like
he gave me the opportunity to come down. He did say come down, and John Calvin did say come down, and I mentioned to John since then. But confidence from myself didn't go down.
Right. Okay.
Looking back now, should have went down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You just should have put yourself in a situation regardless.
Like it's only down the road. It's only Dublin.
Yeah.
And like he said, come on down and we'll do something. And I would say do something. He probably come down, just a wee bit of sparring or whatever. And like it just didn't go down. And looking back 6 months later, I goes, I will go down, and it didn't. And that ship sailed. Yeah. Gone.
Yeah. I can tell that hurts you a wee bit.
Like. Oh, it does, because like it would have been an opportunity, like. But then again, in martial arts too, like you try to be humble and different things, and like I'm not saying that I'm the best ever, or the best in the world, but like it's just sometimes you don't want to go out of your own comfort zone sometimes.
Yeah, it's like a lot of things. Most people don't, and you see like all these like, you know, like I'll even admit like there's podcasts I have on, like not necessarily with yourself, but other people come on. You're sitting there like, fuck, maybe I'll just cancel them today. Or, like, like I'll not go today. Like, but then you do it, and you're sitting there like, fuck, I'm so glad I did it. Like you sort of. If there's like, I always try to give people takeaways. Like if you're listening, like just put yourself out of your wee bit of comfort zone next time. Because then next time, like I know it sounds stupid, like but say you went to the likes of like the McGregor camp, everything else
falls in place.
Fucking seems easy compared to that. Like, and it all sort of like plays its way, you know, into things, I suppose. Like, but it's like you'll not make that mistake again, I suppose.
No, it's probably an Irish thing. We don't want to overachieve or overdo.
Yeah,
like it's you just want enough to keep you going. And then where the Yanks would just jump into that there, like, there we go. Yeah, I go with you now. Like,
do Do you think you would have like much American support coming over here? Because Americans fucking love him as well.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, imagine like a fighting park. Do you think you would have many Yanks come over? Because I remember seeing over like the way in Wembley they do, or no, the Tottenham Stadium they do like the NFL and stuff. They fucking come over in their droves.
Oh, the Americans love him.
Yeah.
Like we give example. Chad Mendes fight, Aldo fight, Irish. Diaz fight 1, Irish. Diaz fight 2, Americans.
Right.
Like you're sitting there, I'm on queuing up to weigh-ins and all, Yanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Americans. He's just started growing more and more and more. Mm-hmm. And there was less Irish going. So probably less Irish going because it's hard to go to every fight. You can't afford it. Like,
yeah.
But more and more Americans. So like every shop in America there was Conor McGregor stuff. Like I was in Argentina in 2018 for a tournament and walking down the street, middle of nowhere, Buenos Aires, and walking and there's a Conor McGregor poster on the wall. And like there's a man up in Argentina, there's a boy who actually flew from Argentina from Taekwondo to Dublin just to train in SBG to say he was training in the same gym as Conor McGregor. This is Argentina.
Yeah.
Like it's a track.
Yeah. It's not close.
It's like 24 hours straight. Yeah. Like it's as far as Australia.
Yeah.
And
hell.
it just shows you how big that he is.
How much, like how massive it is. It's hard to comprehend because as we said, we are so humble over here. Like, and you just sort of be like. Oh, sure, it's just Conor McGregor.
Just
like,
Conor.
You almost talk about him as if like like we all know him. Like, oh, sure, Conor. Like,
that's the thing. Yeah,
all mates them. But fuck. I'm really looking forward to the fight this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's a shame I think over here, especially for Irish fans too, if there wouldn't be a fight here because we stay up late and we put in the hard hours to watch.
That's the thing,
them.
yeah.
Like you couldn't make up a worse time to fight someone.
Yeah,
like for us to sit like. If it was on at like 7 a.m, at least you get a bit of sleep and wake up early or whatever. But it's just
like,
rage
they could do it earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the day, it's a biggest fight of the summer.
Yeah.
So they could have the fight at say 7 p.m, 6 p.m, the main fight.
Mm-hmm.
The Yanks are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
The Irish can watch it.
Mm-hmm. Because there's the big culture over there, like they do like tailgate and stuff like that, like to fucking feed and drink and stuff like that. So like you would get them out early, there could be no problem to them.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
like the American, like all the TV shows, like it's Saturday, like they do fuck all over
there.
Yeah.
And like in Vegas, people go to Vegas in America just for the weekend. It's just
just to go.
The crack. Like they fly in Saturday morning, they fly home Sunday, just for the night. Like people, especially California's reaction. Like, so you're an hour away on a plane.
So mental, like us thinking like the big weekend activities like going into Newry for or something like that. Like
because I was at a tournament last year in Orlando and we're talking to people from Texas and going me, oh, where are you from? I goes, oh, Dublin, just keep it handy. He goes, oh my god, that's so far away. I go, as long as they take you, he goes, 9 hours in the plane. He goes, where are you from? Texas. How long take you? 14 hours driving. And I'm like, so it's fast for me to come. And they were feeling sorry for me, like, but he goes, oh, but 14 hours is nothing. Like it's a different culture over there. Like,
yeah, no, it is. We would be in like, where would 14 hours get us here? Paris, fuck's sake.
But if I told you right now you have to ride the Galway, you go, no.
Oh yeah, no.
Like it was 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
I actually, whenever I drove to Galway last summer, and I remember one of the directions was like I had Google Maps on because obviously you can't get anywhere fucking out. And one of the directions was you went round this roundabout and joined like sort of like a motorway, and it said in 100 miles take the next roundabout, and I just looked at my girlfriend for
100 miles, like
100 miles, like
it's nuts.
You're just sitting there like this will never.
Yeah. That's the roads like in America.
Yeah.
Like I drove a couple of times in America, like and it's just straight.
Mm-hmm. Just all flat.
And there's no roundabouts. There's only 3 roundabouts in the whole of America.
What?
That's fact.
No.
There's a fact for you. Learn something new every day. And they're in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah, and I know there's somewhere else, another state there a month or two ago had their first roundabout. There's no roundabouts.
That's all just fucking
it's highways.
And
highways
and
and
slips them up over each other.
Yep.
And
so
fucking American.
Like a friend of mine, I was sort of visiting for about a month in San Francisco. He told me that stat, and then look at myself. That's true. Never actually seen a roundabout.
Yeah.
Because like in New York, everything's done in blocks, streets, so it's left or right.
Could you imagine fucking talking around? There's only 3 in the country, and you approach one, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like,
probably YouTube clips and that there. People go on first time I've ever seen a roundabout.
Yeah, that's wild. Because you always hear like people up north being like Southerners don't know how to use roundabouts. Like,
there's 2 out here. I drove past 2 to get to your house.
And there's not that much traffic out there, like, compared to like a California highway. Or something,
like it's nuts like.
That's wild. I actually can't get over that. And I suppose, but that's just the American, like, can't stop, won't stop, keep going, interchange.
Like I drove from Miami to Orlando. I think it was 4 hours, and we drove past maybe 15 Dunkin' Donuts, like on the side of the road, like.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts. Like
I have to go. It is on the list. I think out of all the places I'd love to go and live, like Julia, like I'd love to go back to like Asia and stuff like that, and all, and like maybe Australia, but America's the one that like
it's
really appealed to me. Like I think because just their lifestyle and the fast pace is just
different level.
It's class. Like it's class. Like
and every state's different.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Different people and like I was in California and coming from New York, and New York's all fast, and California's all slow, chilled. Like don't talk to me. I get it now in 2 minutes for you, but 2 minutes is 10 minutes.
Oh really?
Where New York is, I'm done and dusted.
Fucking hell.
It's different pace.
Because like obviously Ireland's quite like a small place, and like obviously our accents are kind of a bit different and stuff like that. But the pace doesn't change really.
No,
like, it's all sort of the same. Like
pace change and population.
Okay.
So how you tell there's a big place of population is how fast people walk.
Okay.
So that's how you tell there's a population. So you take it with Newry, Monaghan Street, people just twiddling down the road.
Fuck yeah, they do.
If you go to Belfast, they're walking faster.
Yeah.
If you go to London, they're walking really fast.
Yeah.
That's how to tell the population.
That's why I always think that like you see like the stereotypical like New Yorker and they're like angry and like get the fuck out of my way and all this other shit. Like how could you not be frustrated with that many people?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting in a fucking bungalow right now. No one above me, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what? 1,000 people above him, like
skyscrapers.
Yeah, like
50,
it's unimaginable.
60.
Like yeah.
Well, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas has 20,000 bedrooms.
Does it?
20,000 bedrooms. Like people don't realize that it takes you about 20 minutes to go from your bedroom to the reception to walk.
Really?
That's how big it is.
Jesus Christ.
Like 20,000 bedrooms is a lot.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine doing that fucking half-cocked
Like,
after.
It's impossible. Like it's impossible. Like if you won't find your room for 2 hours.
You trying to make your way back.
Yeah.
Do you think? Well, what are we at? We're near an hour. Flip. We'll wrap this up. Do you think? Do you think the Nurmagomedov fight will ever happen?
No.
It's done, isn't it?
Gone. Yeah. Like, will he ever come back? Maybe. But him and Connor's gone.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. Like
do you think there'd be a chance if it did? Just say hypothetically, Calvin Connor would beat him, or
no.
And that's coming from like probably the biggest McGregor fan.
Yeah, like that's like it's even the first fight I knew I was going to win.
Yeah,
that was the first fight I hadn't been to Connor.
And was that deliberate?
And that was deliberate.
Yeah, and
I knew you was going to win. And like it takes a lot of money to go, and you want to enjoy it and all that there, and like you're telling yourself he's not going to beat him.
Yeah.
So like, and the way he was talking all put me off as well. Like,
yeah.
But I just knew straight away he was going to win.
Yeah, and not even that. Like, you don't want to like all the stories I asked you was like how class somebody won that reaction. No one wants to ask you like, what was it like when he lost?
Yeah,
Fuck
like
that.
I'll give you an example. Lost. We were at the Diaz 1 fight, and I'm a big fan of Tiesto. Tiesto was playing that night. Couldn't wait to go see Tiesto.
Yeah.
McGregor loses. It was like depression. We went to our bedroom like 10 o'clock
Really?
at night in Vegas. Our last night. We're going home the next day.
Yeah.
Went to our bedroom. Three lads went to sleep. Miss Tiesto. Like I go myself afterwards, going like a couple weeks later, going, "Why did you do that for?" Like,
yeah. You're like a big child almost.
Yeah, it
like,
was just like,
it's like watching the England game the other night.
yeah, you're just sort of let down. Like
yeah.
I think because you just, I don't know, you were expecting. You expect a lot, but it's so human. Like it's a fight. Like
yeah, like I can only imagine. Like fuck, I was so disappointed sitting out to 5:30 in the morning here. Never mind spending thousands of fucking pounds to get over to Vegas.
Never forget, we were sitting there and I goes, no. We're not going to Tiesto. Sure, Tiesto was raging.
Worst movie ending ever.
Couldn't wait. I still haven't seen Tiesto yet. I'm still waiting to see him. Like,
I actually think I've seen Tiesto. I think he like was he not in Belfast?
Yeah, he goes usually at Balsonic and
I think it was like, but no, it wouldn't be the same as seeing him in Vegas.
No,
but,
in the Hakkasan and MGN.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be the same. Like, but yeah, no, I think it did. Actually, I actually think there was a night he did like was it the 3 Arena or no? What do you call it? The SSE. The SSE up in Belfast.
Yeah, he did with someone else. That's right. Yeah.
But it was like there was that concert, and then straight off, like a week later, there was that Hardwell concert. I remember, and it was like evacuated from fucking everyone gone off their fucking rockers.
That's why I started listening to Hardwell. I didn't know who he was, and then one of the news, Hardwell. I go, oh, okay,
he must be class.
Yeah, and then I seen him twice in one day in Vegas.
Yeah,
I seen him at a pool party and a nightclub afterwards.
That's wild.
That night. So seeing Hardwell at a pool party, and then went to the fight, Diaz 2, and then Hardwell that night again. It's great.
Is it just non-stop over there? Because I am going sometime, but like, is there just superstar after superstar after superstar on
like,
show?
You have Reds. See, that's it. Like Calvin Harris there every week.
Uh-huh.
So it used to be in the MGM. Calvin Harris one Saturday, the following Saturday was Tiesto. Then Calvin Harris, Tiesto.
Like a residency almost.
But I think Calvin Harris has a different place now, full time.
Yeah.
Like I give you one more story before we go. We were at. I'm a big 50 Cent fan, so a bit of music, all different music. It's not- I haven't got one area I like, but the first time in the Vegas, 50 Cent has his own nightclub, Dre's nightclub, and it was his birthday weekend, and it goes my friend. He probably listening to it later on, he'll be laughing. That I go, let's go to it. And he goes, no, there's no one be there. It'll be crap. I goes, he'll be there. He goes, he'll not be there. I go, but it's his birthday weekend, McGregor fight, he has to be there. So fast forward, we didn't go. Talking to a few lads later on, he goes, where are you? Oh, we were at Dre's. And he good, unreal. 50 Cent was there. Noam was in the nightclub. He sang 10 songs straight, took pictures with everyone.
No.
And I'm like, I looked like, Paul, fuck you. Like,
I love 50 Cent.
like, oh, I went to Belfast and all and seen him and all there. Like
Yeah.
couldn't wait. Like it was, and the nightclub was empty for his birthday. And I going, because the same time we went bankrupt. So it was the same time. So we thought he was going to be there because he's bankrupt.
Yeah. Fuck's
But he
sake,
was
like,
there. So ever go to Vegas and you see 50 Cent's birthday weekend in July, you have to go. You have to go.
That's it. He actually had a brilliant show out there. We watched Power. Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, great
Fucking
show.
Great show.
Great
like,
show.
He even acting.
Yeah.
His acting's fucking class.
Even he had a movie there too, Netflix.
Yeah.
It's Den of Thieves, is it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's a good actor. Like
Fuck, he is like, and
his own movie's good.
has he got his own movie?
Get Richard Day Train.
I've never seen it.
About his whole life.
I've never seen it. No.
It's like an autobiography movie.
But yeah, like the Eminem movie. That's
Yeah,
what
but
like
it's no Batman movie. It's better than that.
really.
Yeah. It shows him sort of going up to the ranks and getting shot,
Yeah.
and then what he did afterwards and all.
Fucking
No,
hell.
it's good.
And is it like? Does it sort of show like everything doesn't really like cut
Oh,
any corners?
yeah,
Like,
no, it's good. Yeah,
Fuck.
And
No,
then
that's on the list.
how
then.
he made his songs, different songs. It's a movie, but he's the main actor in it.
Class.
That's good. It's good. It's good.
Cal, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up there.
Get on,
that was an absolute pleasure. You want to shout where we can find you on? So
Yeah, well, I have my own podcast, the One Hit Podcast. So
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube, Spotify. We talked to some of the martial art people in the world,
Yeah.
and some health people as well. So get a listen to that.
as I said, like I would personally recommend the Red Thompson, like
Yeah.
Wonder Boy's father on the podcast. Like,
was
like
great.
if you're any way, into your mixed martial arts, like the takeaways from that alone would be unbelievable. Like,
And like most of my guests are crazy American 50, 60-year-old rednecks,
Yeah.
which is
makes for a good chat. Like
makes for a great chat.
you're like it's like the South Armagh is like the Irish equivalent of that,
Yeah.
I suppose. Like so.
And it's the world's against them as well.
Yeah.
So it's always good. But like it's good. No, I like talking to them sort of people that have that history. Like first one I did the podcast was going to talk to fighters, 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, and then it goes, no, let's talk to the coaches.
Yeah.
Give
The boys
more
that know it all,
stories.
like,
More stories.
Yeah.
Like Bert Watson, one of the guys who talking to was Mike Tyson's manager. He was Muhammad Ali's manager. Like these are boys with stories.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to a 22-year-old fighter. The dog can get ready for his fight, but the same 22-year-old fighter is the same all over the world. I'm going to beat that guy. I want to beat that guy, and they lose. Do you know what I mean? So I want to talk to someone
Go
that's
talk to the legends, like they know the stories.
talk with the losers and the wins, but they have the stories. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. And they'll find that on where is it? Spotify and
Spotify and YouTube. One Hit Podcast. Good week.
And then if anyone's interested in like taekwondo lessons and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
we've taekwondo classes all over County Armagh, County Down.
Very good.
Just type in Cathal Fegan Schools of Taekwondo and
Brilliant. And final prediction for the fight this weekend. You gonna pick a round or you gonna
let's go round two.
Round 2 McGregor.
Round two. I said in the last fight he's going to do a hook kick in the first round, but he didn't do a hook kick. If you watch his very first fight, his first technique was a hook kick. I've been practicing that ever since again, so I'd love to do that there, especially be telling my students, look, this is what we do. Hopefully second round.
Hook kick in the second round.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go first round knockout. I think he's gonna come out. I'm loving the fact that he's back being an absolute shithouse again. Like I'm loving that McGregor back, and I'm glad to see it. But Cal, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Sean,
thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Anytime.
Make sure you all check out Cal's stuff as well, the One Head Podcast as well. Leave any likes, subscribe, follow me as well on the Smac Talk Podcast, and I'll see you all again, guys, in the next one. Cheers, Cal.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.